The government, Ciara, is due to announce its vacant home strategy next month. Some ideas, though, being floated in the papers this morning.
There's a plan, of course, to encourage elderly people residing in nursing homes to become landlords, and we're going to be hearing more about that in a moment. But there are also proposals of special teams in the Department of Housing to target vacant properties, and the AG has been asked to examine if new powers of compulsory purchase are needed to help tackle the housing crisis.
You're not happy with this.
I'm not.
You've got your kind of private citizens hands-off government.
Well, I do, because do you know what I think? I think it's bloody hard to work and buy a house and pay off a mortgage and raise a family and do all those things. And I don't think people who came through the 60s, the 70s and the 80s, which were tough years, and now own a property, that should just be taken away from them in order to rightly provide homes for people who need them. We do have a housing crisis, but I think this is the state abdicating its responsibility and saying, do you know what? You own a house and it's empty. We'll have a bit of that, please. I just
couldn't disagree with you more. Couldn't disagree.
I'm aware, but I cannot like this.
The state would be abdicating its responsibility if it just let, and it is currently abdicating its responsibility, because it currently lets houses sit derelict for decades.
Why don't they just build houses?
No, but of course they need to build houses, but you can't just let houses go derelict. There are streets in Dublin with houses that are being boarded up for years. It drags down the whole neighbourhood.
So we take private property of citizens to do the job of the state.
No.
That's what you're saying?
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. You take houses from citizens who do not fulfil their responsibility to mind that property. Their responsibility to the community around them, to not drag down.
Keeping house with shabby, peeling paint. You don't like it.
Board it up.
We'll have your house that you paid for with your after-tax income.
Sometimes by people who are drinking. Used by people who are taking drugs, who break in and use those houses. It drags down the tone of the whole
I do
neighbourhood.
Not believe that
there's a common good, Ciara. There is a common good. You can't just buy a house and say, I'm going to do nothing to this house because it's my right, because it's private property.
Because I own it, Shane. Because I actually bought it and paid for it.
But you still have responsibilities to maintain that property, Ciara.
And if we're not towing that line, the state will just whip it out from under us, irrespective of our abilities.
After a process, and it's compulsory purchase, you get the market price for it. I don't see what the problem is, quite frankly.
So you're sick for a period of a couple of years. You don't maintain.
Talking about a couple of years. We're not talking about
so there's a cut-off point.
Yeah.
How many years can you leave your house vacant?
It'll take 2 years to go through the courts.
And if you're sick for 3 years?
Ciara, come on. We're not talking about people who are sick for 3 years. We're talking about people who have bought, in many cases, are landlords, have numerous properties, have never lived in the property. Certainly in the cases I'm aware of in my local area.
So you're talking about a specific subset of landlords, is what you're talking about, is it?
I'm saying, if you have a house, it's derelict and it's vacant and it drags down the whole neighbourhood, I'm sorry. If you lose that house when it's compulsory purchase, I don't think people should have any sympathy for that.